All right. All right. Hey guys, welcome to our Zoom. And in this Zoom, I really wanted to talk about getting started right as a new coach. And I have a special guest with me today that's going to be talking about how she got it started right. Because I think one of the biggest things with coaching is saying you're going to do something and wanting to do it, and then getting over the fear of what's going to happen if I do this, like what if it works? What if it doesn't? And so just getting over the fear on your first initial steps. So first off, we have Stacy that I'm going to introduce for you, and I'll pin her as the video. So the way this is going to work, I kind of have some like interview questions for her, some things that new coaches have asked me, and some things that I know she's gone through. So I'll let Stacy introduce herself, but just a little bit of a history of her. Stacy was not on Facebook at all. She wasn't on social media just 3 months ago. So right now we're in the middle of January recording this, and just over 3 months or just under 3 months ago, she wasn't even on Facebook, didn't have a friend page, didn't have any friends on Facebook, was also, fearful of accepting friend requests because you're like, I think I know that person. That might be somebody that I went to high school, but I'm not quite sure. So just what she's been able to accomplish over the past or over less than 90 days. And I think it has a lot to do with our fitness too, because a lot of the times, we get a program and we dive in, and if we're not successful on day one or day two or a week from there, then we get really discouraged. And right now I'm recovering from my baby, so I can totally relate to that, because my first week I didn't see any results. But it's not going to stop me, because I know I'm going to continue to go. And 90 days from now, it's going to be a whole different story from now. And that's the same thing that Stacy has been able to apply to her business. So she is a business starter, which means she's been able to help customers in her business right off the bat. So she's been able to do actual coaching, and a success starter as well, which means for the 3 consecutive first months she's been a coach, she's been able to hit the milestone of Emerald first off. So that's her first rank advancement, and as well as hitting Success Club 5 or Success Club 10, really. Her first month, I think it was 11 points, 11 or 12 points. And her second month was 18 points. And her third month, currently to date, I think she has 15 points, or let me see, I think a total of 12 points to date. And she still has 10 more days left in the month. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, it can only go up. So I'll let Stacy introduce herself, and I'm going to go ahead and pin you. So you're on, girl. Take it away.
All right. Hi, my name is Stacy Whipple, and I am a Team Beachbody coach, and I've been doing it for 3 months, like Meredith said. And I will say that it's just about this last week that I'm really getting comfortable with the business. And I'm a mother of a 6-year-old and a 9-year-old, and I am married. And I am a group fitness instructor. I've been teaching classes for 18 years. So since I was about 19 years old, it's a true passion of mine. So when Beachbody came my way, it was kind of a no-brainer. It was like, yeah, this is for me. Let's do this. So the last 3 months, I've been learning a lot and loving it.
Awesome. So, all right, I know you weren't on Facebook, and that's how a lot of coaches find out about Beachbody, and you've kind of seen things on infomercials. So since you weren't really connected to the internet, how did you hear about Beachbody coaching?
So in October, I was having lunch with a girlfriend of mine that I've known since I was 5. And she was up visiting, and I just came back from teaching a class. So I was in my workout gear, and she said, why aren't you a Beachbody coach? And you would be so great at that. And I said, I don't really know anything about it. I know what Insanity is and P90X, and I've actually recommended that to a lot of women that I would invite to my group fitness classes. I'd say, come take my class. And they said, well, I have no time. I said, why don't you try that Insanity? I'm always promoting people to get moving, go for a run, go outside, get a workout in. So that's what I'm already kind of known for. So anyway, so when my friend asked me about why aren't I a Beachbody coach, I said, well, I don't know anything about it. So the next day, we kind of just let it go. She texted Meredith and I and said, you two need to talk. She just had this vision for me, I guess. So Meredith called me, and I totally was 100%. I'm like, okay, let's do this. I was a little reluctant at first, of course, because she said, you don't have to get on Facebook, but you should get on Facebook. And that was a really, big decision for me because I'm a little private. So I will say that when I did get a Facebook account, I had it for about a week before I even accepted my first friends. And I remember sitting at my daughter's gymnastics class and with a couple moms, and I said, I'm on Facebook now. They said, you know what, we're going to friend you, just do it. So I did it. But I will say that I cried to my husband the first night. I was crying to him in tears. I said, I don't know. I'm on Facebook now. And he's not really on Facebook either at all. He has an account, but he never, ever goes on it. Like, he has a picture of our son who's 9 when he was like 2 years old on it. So, we didn't know much about it. So that's kind of how I got started.
Cool. I know that's like always a scary thing when somebody's never been on Facebook and they're like, oh, I'm going to get on the internet. And I think that's one thing that coaches get scared of. Like they think like once I have to be in the public eye all the time in order to be, a successful coach. And really it's just like sharing, what you're doing. So so how did you get, like, the very first thing you did as a coach, you signed up on Facebook, right?
Yes, that was the very first thing.
So, and then did you do a challenge group? Is there?
Yes. So I signed up in like middle October, and I jumped in on your Facebook challenge group for 21 Day Fix because I had to learn with the whole Beachbody program. So it's not like I went through a challenge group and fell in love with it and I said, I want to do this. I'm coming in with no information, didn't even know what a challenge group was, and I'm going to be coaching and leading them was my goal, because when I got into this, I wasn't going to just kind of do it halfway. So I wanted to go all in. So I joined Meredith's challenge group more as an observer, and I was experimenting and experiencing Shakeology for the first time, containers for the first time, all the workouts for the first time at home. And, being an instructor teaching for 18 years, 5 days a week outside of the home, it was very refreshing to me to have the option of home workouts, to tell you the truth. I was getting a lot more done around the house, and I just really enjoyed the workouts.
So, so since you did you said you weren't, didn't come in this challenge group. So are you a success story? Do you have a weight loss story or health, or what's kind of like your history with fitness a little bit?
So I don't have a massive transformation besides 2 years in college when I gained the freshman 30, not even the freshman 15, the freshman 30, which was, 20 years ago. But I did gain 30 pounds, which is significant on a person who's 5'3". And, at the time, I really didn't care though. I was still dancing. I was a dance minor and a health and physical education major. So I still was active, but I wasn't obviously burning the calories I was intaking. So anyway, I gained the 30 pounds, and just on doing my own thing, I lost the 30 pounds. And so there was about 2 years that I was overweight, and I wasn't super happy with it, but it didn't really bother me. But then once I lost it, I got into my vibe, the groove of working out, and fell in love with fitness again. I grew up dancing and doing gymnastics. So it was really in my life all the time. And then when I was about about 20 years old, 2021, that's when I fell in love with group fitness, got my first AFA certification, and that was my life ever since then. No matter where I was living, Atlanta, Virginia, Pennsylvania, I was always teaching group fitness. So I don't have a massive transformation besides those 30 pounds, but it's part of my life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think some people always look at, the grass is greener on the other side. And because you had a transformation, so it's easier for you to talk about coaching. And then people like me right now I'm going through my transformation story. I'm looking at somebody that's super fit like you, and I'm like, it's easier for her to, do coaching because she's so fit. But And the reality of it is it's just sharing and helping other people. So, all right, Coach Basics. So I know that's one of the things that Beachbody recommends we do as, and your upline coach is, your sponsor and helps supporting you. So did you do the Coach Basics training?
I did.
Okay. And what was it like? And what would you do for, because we have a self-paced group. So what kind of tips would you give people, and just give us an overall, like what Coach Basics was like?
Okay. So it was self-paced. That's how I was put into it as a self-paced group. I'm not really sure how long it took me to go through it. Do you remember?
Like maybe 3 weeks?
Yeah, it wasn't that long, but
No.
I listened, I would read a post, and I did a lot of listening to the videos in the car. So I would, anywhere I was driving, if I was driving the kids to an activity or I was driving to the grocery store, I always was listening to the videos on there. And I probably did, some days it was 3 posts a day, and then the next day wouldn't be anything. The next day would be another 3, or the next one might be 1.
So that you just kind of made it work for your schedule. So you just said, okay, I'm going to buckle down for a couple weeks and just in the car, I'm going to listen to this.
Yeah. And I wanted to get through it.
Yeah. So just like rip it off like a Band-Aid. And then, so once you completed Coach Basics, did you start your own challenge group? And then tell us about your challenge groups and like your first challenge group customers and how that kind of went.
Okay, my first challenge group I did in November. So you actually, Meredith, offered for me to do one with her if I wanted, or she said, hey, if you want to do your own, go for it. I said, I'm going to do my own. So I followed the template verbatim from the Beachbody website, and also from what Meredith had done in our October group. I kind of, put them together, but pretty much I followed the template from Beachbody. And my customers were women I knew already from my group fitness classes. So that was an easy, natural progression. They already trusted me. They already knew me. And they said, hey, if you think this is worthwhile, we're going to do it. So they already trusted me. So that was kind of easy for me to get my first couple customers. I also had my sister in there.
So how did you invite them? Because I think that's one of the biggest fears that people are like, I have to talk to all my family and friends and like make them do this. And so how did you invite your sister without making her feel like she was this big person that needed to lose all this weight and you were like making her do something?
I kind of presented it to them like, hey, I'm really excited about this. I need your support. If you could do this favor for me, or this is a really cool new thing I'm doing, will you be involved in it with me? So I kind of made it like almost they were doing me a favor, but then they loved it. So because I said, this is a new business of mine, I'm trying to pick up, get off the ground. And they said, yeah, we'll support you. That was more like my sister and a couple friends, but the people in my group fitness classes were like, yeah, let's do this.
Cool. Awesome. Because you already had that relationship with them. So you talked about you followed the group verbatim, like via Beachbody, and then you kind of took some ideas, because I think it's just kind of like teaching fitness classes where once you do something for a while, you kind of start to add your own pizzazz to it. Is there anything that you've started to tweak a little bit to be more your style?
Well, I'm running my 3rd challenge group right now. So I'm still following the Beachbody template, but I'm adding on. I'm doing a lot more add-ons throughout the posts that I'm already that are already planned. I'm adding, if it's snowing for the day and stay warm, and here's a Shakeology recipe that's warm, that if you don't feel like drinking a cold shake, try this. This is a Shakeology mug cake. So I give them that recipe, just depending on day by day and how I'm feeling.
Cool. Awesome. And then your first month as a coach, you earned Success Club 10, which means that you've helped 5 customers with Beachbody products in your challenge group. And you also became an Emerald coach that month, which means you sponsored your first your first 2 coaches. And then your second month, you had 18 points. And then this month, you have 12 right now, 12 Success Club points, and you're about to finish strong. So 3 months right now, basically you get a ticket to Summit, and then also I think there's like a fast track bonus or something. So what can you think back to, what was the thing that you were like, okay, the first month you did it and it was like, what did you do the second month? Was it the same? Was it different? Do you remember?
Um, well, the first month when I was inviting people, I was, like I said, I almost made like they were doing me a favor. I almost like felt like, hey, I'm doing this thing, but you totally don't have to do it, but it'd be fun if we did this. The next month, I invited with a lot more confidence because I really, really believe in the workouts and the Shakeology. I'm 100% true believer in them, that they do work. So I just had a lot more confidence in my invites. And my social media was growing the second month. People were seeing what I was doing. I'm posting consistently, 2-3 times a day, minimum. And so I guess I sent emails out to my friends and family saying, hey, I'm doing this Beachbody thing, maybe have a free account with me. I won't be emailing you a whole bunch of times, which Meredith recommended I do. So that helped just get more attention to what I was doing.
Cool.
And after the first month, a couple people like at the gym were saying, hey, Stacey's doing this group. I really liked it.
Okay, so the benefit of being an Emerald coach and hitting Success Club, you get free customer leads and free customers that are purchasing directly from your site. So there's a couple different kinds of customers you get. So it's basically like free commissions. So in order to hit that, you needed to become an Emerald coach. So do you remember who your first 2 coaches were and how you got them?
Yep. And I think almost all Beachbody coaches will tell you sign up your spouse. So I did sign up my husband, and he's really not involved in it at all. But he is my coach under me. So he's someone that I know is consistent, and then I can control his account to make sure that I have volume coming in through him. Also, my second customer or coach was my sister, one of my sisters that joined my challenge group in November. She became a coach. So that they were just like kind of doing as favors for me. But now I have
account coaches.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And now since then you've signed up other coaches.
Yeah.
That are like, interested in coaching and wanting to do what you want to do. So you're starting to build your team, which is awesome. All right, let's talk social media, because I know you said at the beginning, like you reached out to people that you already knew. And meanwhile, you've been consistent posting 2 to 3 times a day on your social media. And you already have close to 500 followers on your Facebook page, which is pretty awesome, because I know a lot of people that will start a Facebook page and like years later, they still only have the first 50 followers that they started with. And, I can't speak directly why that's happened, but I know that consistency pays off, and you've definitely been consistent. So what was one of the things that started your page off, and what do you think was your success to getting to close to 500 followers in less than 90 days?
Well, I did have a lot of friends on my social page right off, between my husband and myself and everywhere we've lived in college and high school and family. So I would start letting them know what I'm doing. I let them know.
I'm going to stop you right there, because you opened up your Facebook at the same time as you created your Facebook page.
Right.
So as you were accepting friend requests, were you saying, hey, check this out? This is my like page.
Yep. And immediately, at least this is what I'm doing right now. I mean, I don't know if a year from now this is going to be the right formula, but I am, the second they become my friends on my social page, I'm inviting them immediately into my like page. So that they are already, I'm fresh in their minds, and they're like, okay, she has that page too. I'll like that too. And then I also posted different things on my social page, like, hey, I'll post a picture of a recipe and say, hey, the actual ingredients are over here at my like page, and I'll have a link to my like page. Come like my like page for different ideas. And then at one point about 3 or 4 weeks ago, I posted a picture saying, hey, I'm not going to be here anymore. So check, if you want to see me, come over to my like page. I still randomly, maybe once a week post something in my social page just to like stay in touch with people and make sure they don't forget me, because I am so new and I want to build up my like page way, way, way bigger than 500 people. So I just still kind of stay, in their lives on my social page.
That's really good because that's such a good way of organically growing your page, saying, hey, this is over here if you want to see it. And not everyone's going to want to go see that recipe, but the more that times that you do that and the more people see it, it's like almost like, well, maybe I'll go get over on that like page. So what tips do you have for new coaches starting off a like page?
Um, Consistency, for sure. 100% consistency. Honestly, what I'm doing right now is I'm doing research. I am looking at other coaches' pages. I am listening to YouTube videos from all kinds of different coaches from all over the country. I'm getting all kinds of tips and ideas. So especially with my Facebook page, for example, I am taking ideas maybe from other coaches and making them my own. And just keep posting every day. And of course, not all Beachbody because that's really annoying.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to.
And I think that's so important is to like kind of, especially if you have you don't really know where to go or you don't really know what to start to post about or, to get some ideas. But then also I've seen a lot of your posts with like, just like your life, like you work out and you eat right and just like living the life of a coach and then talking about stuff with, your church or your kids, your daughter's gymnastics and just kind of incorporating a little bit of family life so people just have a piece of you that you're not just, fitness and nutrition, like it's a whole over package. And so I think people are starting to get a feel for like who you are and getting to know you. Okay, so, all right, this is a big one and this is kind of like our last topic. So advice for new coaches not to feel too overwhelmed and, advice and tips to brand new coaches. So how to not get in your own way, because I'll do that. I'll have like a great idea. And then, I get in my own way where I think like, well, maybe that's stupid. Maybe people don't want to see that. But when I put something out there and I just get out of my own way, like people do want to see that. People do want to see the real side of you and the vulnerable side. Like me, I'm losing my baby weight right now. And people want to see like the transformation and like what is it really like, because it's not just a before and after. There's a lot of bumps in the road. So what would be your advice for new coaches not to feel overwhelmed and how not to stand in their own way?
Okay, so it is overwhelming the first 2 months. It is overwhelming. I mean, I remember texting Meredith, I don't know if this is for me. There's just so much information and there's still so much for me to learn. Like heaps and heaps and loads of information, but at the 3-month point, I'm like feeling comfortable. I'm getting what it's all about, what coaching is all about. And, it's a learning curve, just like when you start any new job. So you might, if you start a new job in an office, you don't know where the bathroom is, where boss's office is, or, where the lunchroom is. So you got to figure all that out, just like navigating around your Team Beachbody website. So, work at the time. This is your business. You can, take 2 months to get through Coach Basics or 3 weeks like I did. It's totally up to you and how you want to run your business and how fast you want to take it to the next level.
And any last tips or motivation or anything you want to say to like somebody getting started that's like, okay, I know there's a lot of information and I totally agree with you. There's still stuff that I'm learning to this day and think, just like you said, like maybe a year from now, this won't be the most effective way to do this, but right now this works. So what are some tips and maybe last minute motivation that you would tell a new coach?
I research. Anytime I'm in the car, I'm listening to podcasts, webinars, Shailene Johnson, anybody in our team, I'm listening to what they have to say, what works for them. And even if I take one thing from that webinar, the hour-long webinar that I listen to in the car, go in the grocery store, pick up the kids from school, or taking my kids to their activities, I'm always researching. So that's really helping me a lot. I'm not just waiting for the information to come to me. I'm seeking out the information.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this and taking your time. I know you were like, I've never done that. I'm nervous about doing this call. And it wasn't so bad, was it?
No.
No. See, just like anything else, you just got to do it. And then it just Like, so this was your scary thing to do today, and now it's not so scary anymore. All right, thank you, Stacy, and please feel free to reach out to us or Stacy. I'm sure she would help answer any questions if you guys have anything else, as well as many other coaches on our team. There's a huge network of support, and again, you know, because we are entrepreneurs and business owners, like there's always going to be something new and a fun new way of doing something. So I think it's important to understand that and recognize that, and just know that that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur. Things are always going to evolve and change. So awesome. Well, have an awesome day, and we'll talk to you soon.
You too. Bye.
Bye.